Hi, welcome. Thanks for being here. I'm Lisa. Welcome to Realistic.Life, the practice of self-kindness. So meeting ourselves where we are in each moment of our lives. And sometimes what life brings us in each moment we may not like. Some of it we love. So it's what the realistic part of life is about. But the more we can meet ourselves where we are, how we're feeling about what's going on in each moment with authenticity, the easier it is for us to be kinder to ourselves. So mornings for me are always a tough time. My husband of 20 years, we've been together 21, kind of quickly learned that he has to give me about 15 minutes before I really get going and moving in the morning. He's a person who wakes up and he's pretty much always happy, so it's an adjustment for him to be with somebody who in the morning isn't quite happy. Not a coffee drinker, it's just more about me just getting myself moving a little bit, and he knows when I start to make breakfast, that's kind of about the time that you can kind of start trying to engage with me. Otherwise, you may not get a conversation out of me at all, or it may not be the kindest of conversations in the morning. So I thought we'd just practice today kindness, a short half-hour practice that you could do for yourself in the morning as you're kind of getting yourself going. Maybe you can do that before the kids get up, or your animals start to stir, or your spouse, your partner, whatever it may be. Maybe you can make this your time, or maybe it's more of a midday thing for you. You're starting to feel the sleepies midday. So we'll just go through a few movements here, getting ourselves acclimated into our day or back into our day. So let's just start. Let's just make a couple of movements here. I'm going to turn my timer on so we can stay at about 30 minutes. So let's just start by stretching our head. Take a nice big stretch. So maybe yawn. The sleepies are there, and that's okay. You can embrace them. Bring your palms through to your heart center. Let's bring our hands down to where it's comfortable for you. And as you inhale, your shoulders up towards your ears. Exhaling your shoulders down. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. 1 more time as we inhale up. Exhale down. Sometimes we inhale, let's clench everything from head to toe, just feeling that clencher, drawing everything in. Exhale, letting it all go. Bring your palms through to your heart center and repeating after me. May I be kind to myself. May I accept myself just as I am. May I be so full of love for myself that it naturally overflows to the world. You can gently start to bring your hands down. Let's just take about 30 seconds of quiet here so you can come into a posture that's most comfortable for you. Grab any blankets or bolsters, maybe make a few movements as we settle in. So you can just notice your breath if you want. It may be early in the morning or midday when we may have thoughts that are going on, and that's fine. An easy exercise for me is to try to bring my awareness to my breath. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. Ready? You can start to bring your gaze up toward neutral. Let's bring both fingertips down to the ground beside us, and as we inhale, the right hand up overhead. So just nice kind of loose, slow movements here. Exhaling that hand down. Inhale. So we're trying to get ourselves just kind of moving a little bit, getting the cobwebs kind of shaken out of our brain a little bit. So movements might be a little bit faster here. Exhaling that hand down. Bring both palms out in front of you, palms out toward the wall in front of you. As your spine goes back toward the back wall. Opening up through your hands, hands back behind you. So bringing your shoulder blades in together, heart center opening. Releasing your hands down, relaxing your shoulders. Let's bring both hands over to the right. Gaze over your right shoulder. Coming back to the center and over to the left. Gently coming back toward the center. As you exhale your chin down toward your chest. Inhaling your gaze toward the ceiling. Exhaling your chin down toward your chest. I'm gently going to roll your right ear over toward your right shoulder. To the center, and we'll take that to the left. To the center, and let's do that 2 more times there, or make it a little bit bigger as you go into some neck rolls. Just nice gentle movements here, noticing your breath as you're moving. And when you've done that 2 times on each side, you can bring your chin back to resting towards your chest, enjoying a couple of breaths as we catch up. And let's gently bring our gaze back toward neutral. So we're going to bring our right hand over toward our left shoulder. I'm going to bring our right ear down toward our right shoulder. Coming back to neutral, bringing that hand down. Let's take that to the other side. And let's bring that back toward neutral. So we're going to come into Dandasana or staff pose. So bringing both feet out in front of you. Just let your feet flop in if you want. And use your hands to kind of get some of that energy moving. If you just woken up or it's the middle of the day, maybe you've been sitting at a desk for a while needing to get some of that energy moving through. Settle out through your feet here. Move through your knees a little bit. So move back and forth on your sits bones a little bit. And the flesh away from your sits bones. So coming as straight of a spine as what's comfortable for you. Your knees are a little bit bent here. Inhaling your hands up toward the ceiling. First stretch up. Release your shoulders. Start to hinge forward from your hips. So come to where you can feel your legs first start to engage. The backs of your muscles start to engage here. When you feel it happen, come out of it just a little bit. Take a breath in. Exhale, bring that in. If you want to come into that just a little bit further, your knees are still a little bit soft here, and then you can start to round through your spine, your gaze down towards your belly button. Gaze toward your toes as you inhale, gently walking your fingertips up. Bring both hands back behind you. Your hands can be pointed either back toward the back wall or towards you, whichever is comfortable. Roll your shoulder blades in. Open up through your heart. Gaze either down toward your belly button, out in front of you, or up toward the ceiling, whichever is most comfortable for you. Like rolling your shoulder blades in so you can open up through your chest here. Sometimes when we're sleeping, we might curl in on ourselves. When we're sitting at a desk, we might be kind of slumped over a little bit. And exhale as you bring that back to neutral. So we're going to bring the right foot over the left leg. Bring the left arm around the right leg, right fingertips behind as you gaze over your right shoulder. Exhale back to the center. We'll bring that foot down. Let's take that to the other side. Arm around, fingertips behind, gazing over your left shoulder. Let's bring that back to the center as we gently unwind here. Let's do one hip opener here. Well, one more, since we're just going to open up our hips a little bit in that twist. So we're going to bring both soles of our feet together. Your feet can be in as close as what you'd like or as far apart as you'd like. So we're already starting to open up through our hips, through our inner thighs here. So if you'd like to remain here, you can. If you'd like to make this just a little bit bigger, starting to hinge forward from your hips. You can start to use your elbows if you want to draw your knees out, and then start to round through your spine a little bit as you bring your gaze down towards your belly button. Finding your breath here. Let's take one more breath, one more moment. Next, inhale your gaze towards your toes as you gently start to come up, using your fingertips, drawing your knees together as you windshield wiper your knees back and forth. And then we're going to come over into our table. So finding your alignment here. Hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips if that's not comfortable for you. Coming into the posture that's most comfortable for you. Just a gentle reminder, if anything I suggest causes you pain or discomfort, you're free to stop, modify, find a posture that's most comfortable for you. So let's bring the right toes back behind you, keeping your toes on the ground. And then we're going to draw your toes over toward the left. Drawing your toes back behind you and bringing that back in. Let's take that to the other side. Drawing your toes over toward the right. Let's bring that back to the center, coming back to our neutral posture. Sometimes we exhale our spine toward the ceiling, gaze down toward our belly button, coming into our cat-cows. Inhaling your gaze toward the ceiling. 2 more times as we exhale. And inhale. 1 more time, exhale. And inhale. Coming to our neutral spine. So we're going to walk our palms out about a palm length in front of us. Our hips gently starting to come down to the ground as we ground into our hands. So really engaging your lower back. Take a breath. Back more facing above. Right foot. Over move your jaw here a little bit. Take one more breath here. And this time, using that breath to step forward, both feet coming together. As we find our alignment here, your toes may be together or hip width apart, whichever feels most comfortable for you. Knees soft here. Inhaling your hands up. Exhaling hands through the heart centers. You continue to roll into your forward fold. Inhale to a flat back, your gaze in front of you. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale as you make your way towards standing. Bring your chin toward your chest if you feel dizzy. Inhaling your hands up. And as we exhale, slight bend through your knees, coming into chair. So coming into chair, your hips are sitting back like you'd be sitting into a chair here. Your hands can be at a heart center, down beside you, up above, wherever is most comfortable for you today. Continuing to breathe. Inhaling up. Exhale, coming into forward fold. Letting ourselves hang down here for a moment. Your knees can be soft as you ragdoll back and forth. Gently bringing those movements to a close. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, coming towards standing. Inhaling up. This time we're going to pivot our hands over toward the right. Torso is pivoting toward the right. Exhaling your hands down toward the right. Coming to the center. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale as you come towards standing, hands overhead. Pivoting to the left. Exhaling your hands down to the left. Coming back to the center. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale as you come towards standing. Palms coming through to your heart center. So let's do one more posture here. So you can grab a block here if it'll help you. So the reason we use a block is it really is just an extension sometimes of your feet, your legs, sometimes of your hands, your arms. So you can place that there in front of you, and we're going to step wide apart. Your feet are pivoted out, but I want to make sure that your knees know that they're tracking here. So if you feel pain, go ahead and make any adjustments that you like to make. So we're going to bring our hands back to the small of our back, just so we can judge where our spine is, just to protect ourselves a little bit. As we exhale, we're going to start to hinge forward from our hips. Nice slow movements here. Gaze down toward the ground. So coming down to a flat back, taking a breath. And then coming forward just a little bit more. So you can utilize that block here if you like for your hands. Your knees can be soft and bent here if you like. Your gaze down toward the ground. As you continue to breathe here. Let's take one more breath here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take that left knee and start to straighten it out, but I don't want it totally locked out here. We're going to bring that weight over more toward the right. So we're going to feel a stretch now through our left leg. So the right knee is bent, left leg straight here. Come back to the center, both knees bent, and we're going to take that to the other side. Right leg straight here, left knee bent. Coming back toward the center, both knees can be a little bit soft here, but straight. We're going to bring that right hand to your block, left hand to your hip, taking your gaze up toward the ceiling. Exhaling your gaze and your hand down toward the block. I'm going to take that to the other side. Let's bring our gaze down, hand down. Slight bend in your knees as you slowly start to bring your way up. And then we'll walk your feet together. And you can move the block to the side. Finding your alignment as we start to make our way down toward the ground. Inhaling up. Exhaling hands through the heart center. Continuing to roll down here. I'm going to turn to the side here just so I'm long ways on my mat. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale, palms to the ground. As you step back into your plank, rolling your elbows in. Exhaling down. Elbows in toward your sides, feet flat on the ground, engaging through your legs. Inhaling to higher low cobra. So we're just going to hinge from your hips here. Bring your sits bones back toward your heels, coming into child's posture. Let's bring your gaze out in front of you. Walk your fingertips back toward your knees. And we'll come to seated just long enough to start making it down to our back. And as you're coming down to your back, you can bring your knees into your chest here. You can roll back and forth on your spine if it's comfortable for you. So let's bring both feet down to the ground. Feet are about hip width apart. Let's bring the right ankle over the left knee. So right ankle is hanging over that left knee. Do a little bit of a hip opener here. You can remain here if you want to make these movements a little bit bigger. You can draw the left knee in towards your chest. You can interlock your hands behind the back of your left leg, or you can use your right elbow to draw your knee out a little bit. Left knee can be up toward the foot up toward the ceiling, or the left knee bent. Continuing to notice your breath here. As we exhale, we'll release both fingers, and we're going to bring the left foot down to the ground, keeping the right ankle where it is. We're going to bring the right foot and the left knee down toward the left, coming into a twist. If this isn't comfortable for you, just go ahead and set your knees. Your gaze can come out to right. Let's bring that back to the center, and let's bring that foot down. Let's take that to the other side. Same options as the other side. You can remain here or start to draw that knee in. Noticing your breath. Release your fingers, bring the right foot down, keeping the left knee where it is. We're going to bring the left foot and the right knee down toward the right, gaze toward the left. Gently bringing that back, bringing that foot down. Let's bring both feet in a little bit closer to your sits bones here. Feet about hip width apart. You're going to start to ground down through your feet. With that, you'll start to feel your pelvic floor start to round. You're going to start to come into bridge. You can either make this relaxing if you want to use a bolster underneath your sits bones. You can remain here, or you can make this a little bit bigger as your hips start to come up toward the ceiling. You're grounding down, chin toward your chest, to release any tension from your neck. So your knees are coming in just toward each other, just kind of a little bit. Bring kind of like two magnets kind of pulling toward each other to protect your knees, protect your back. If you want a little bit more of a shoulder stretch, you can interlock your hands and roll up onto your shoulders here, getting a little bit more of a shoulder opener stretch. Continue to breathe. As you exhale, bring your hips toward the ground, drawing your knees toward your chest. You can roll back and forth here on your spine if you like. From here, we'll settle in for a short shavasana if you have time for that. If not, you're welcome to go on with your day. I'm going to come to seated. If you're going to continue into shavasana, you can come into a posture that's most comfortable for you. We'll just be here for about 3 to 4 minutes. Just allowing yourself to relax, taking this time for yourself with no commitments or demands on you during this time. Gently start to bring your awareness back to your breath. Gently bring your awareness back to your body as you start to make some small movements through your fingers and your toes. The breath, the movements becoming a little deeper as you stretch overhead, maybe yawning. You can gently start to draw your knees into your chest as you take a moment of gratitude to yourself, to your practice. Gently making your way to a side that feels most comfortable for you and remaining there for just a moment more. When you have people in your life who love you, at a certain point you have to take responsibility for that. By Amber with Parenthood. Taking a moment here as you take one more breath for yourself. Gently floating your way to seated as you bring your hands through to your heart center. I'm grateful to each and every one of you for being here with me. I'm grateful for your love, for your kindness. May you be kind to yourself. May you accept yourself just as you are. And may you be so full of love for yourself that it naturally overflows to the world. I bow to each of you, and I say to each of you, Namaste. Thank you for joining me here today for a little pick-me-up. I hope to see you again. In the meantime, you can find me on my website, Realistic.Life, or my Facebook page, Realistic Life Community. Until then, be kind to yourself, and I'll see you next time.